Welcome to Hand of Fate.
Back so soon? I knew you would not falter. Can you muster the strength to go on?
I do have to adjust the resolution, so give me a moment. This is Hand of Fate. Hand of Fate is an awesome game. I would describe Hand of Fate as a crossover between a collectible card game, Batman Arkham Combat, and roguelike. That's what it basically is. Hey, Kuro. Glad you can make it. Just adjust my resolution here. Sounds like a weird combo. Works remarkably well. This is a fantastic game. Oh, that's fine, Kuro. If you're dealing with an emergency, then you don't even need to apologize. I was just sending out a little message to everyone. So let me know how the game volume is and the dealer and all of that. Because I've not adjusted the volume for this game with my own voice. That is the one thing I did not prepare. But it should run pretty smoothly at 60 frames per second. So we're going to do that. I was hoping to start a new game with chat. But you really can't do that. I even made a new Steam account and tried that. Didn't. So yeah. So we could go to story mode. We could try to take on the Queen of Skulls, which is the next opponent that I have. I played this game in early access. I bought it for early access, and I've since deleted my save progress and started over, which is why I'm only about halfway through. Because I had a bunch of cards unlocked that you shouldn't actually have unlocked at the beginning of the game, because it was originally balanced differently and all of that stuff. So we could go for that, or we could do endless mode. And in endless mode, we basically get classes that affect how the game plays, and also have additional cards that will show up that we can get rewards from. But they only show up if we're playing as that character. So which game mode should we play, chat? Vote 1 if you want to go after the Queen of Skulls. Vote 2 if you would like to play endless mode, and we'll pick a class. And also let me know how that music volume is. I'm hoping that's not drowning me out or anything like that. Alright, looks like we're going after the Queen of Skulls. So, since I've already cleared the first 6 bosses, I got the Goblet and the Scepter, and basically what those do is they increase your starting stats, give you various buffs. However, they also increase enemies' strength. So, effectively they just make it so as the game goes on, you get stronger, but so does the enemy. Game could be a smidge quieter. Turn that down a little bit more. I do have subtitles on, so why don't I turn it down a whole bunch, and we'll see how that goes. And let me know if I should turn it up or down even more. So we are going to go for the Queen of Skulls. We've got Queen of Skulls has 2 special conditions. Haunted. Whenever we buy an item, we get a curse. That really sucks. However, all items are cheaper. So, still not great. Still probably not going to be buying too many items this playthrough, because curses can be really bad. Or not that big a deal. You don't know what you're going to get.
So much death and sorrow in the world. Can you hear the winds keening in loss? Can you hear the dirges as the trees and the earth cry out in sorrow? This is the Queen of Skulls, and that is all she can hear. It has driven her to madness.
See if I can turn up. Just the dealer. Let me know how this is.
Her touch is the promise of death, and I say to you,
Talking at the same time as the dealer.
farewell.
So we have two decks. We have the equipment deck and the event card deck. I'm gonna throw in this because I've never used it before. So items you've never used before, we can't tell what they do. We've got to pick one up in a game to actually know what it does. And let's see what it take out. Because I'll take out the scavenger's cap in exchange for that. Encounter cards are more interesting. You'll notice a lot of these have a little golden token at the bottom of the card. That means there's something to be found in this card. Sometimes it's simply like getting the optimal solution, like you beat the battle and you get the token. Other times it's actually the opposite, like you need to do something unexpected to get the token. There are various ways of getting tokens. You never know what it's going to be. Oh yeah, the other part of this game that I kind of forgot to mention, it's also a cross of Choose Your Own Adventure. It's got Choose Your Own Adventure in it, and that's why we're playing it. It's kind of a roguelike Choose Your Own Adventure with Arkham combat and collectible cards. So let's put the Holy Forge in, put the Marketplace in, we'll put the Altar in, because all of those have tokens we can get. The Blood Auction and Charity are... Blood Auction is dangerous, and Charity is... It requires us to give up a lot of stuff. Its purpose is really to get the token. It's not a useful card to have in your deck, as much as something that you put in just so you can get a token. So in exchange for those, I'm going to take out Ambush, which is just a fairly straightforward encounter. I'm going to take out River, which you can cross it. If you have got light armor, you have a chance of finding something really good in the river, but if you have medium or heavy armor, you also have a chance of losing a ton of health or bad things happening. What other card should I take out? I will take out Apprentice. No Apprentice for us today. Okay. So now that our decks are properly prepared, let's do this.
The lands of the Queen of Skulls are unhealthy for the living.
The background actually changes as you progress through the game. More and more is added to it.
Few have reached the depths of the game that you have attained. They were too weak or too inflexible, too passionate, or lacking in the necessary will. You are different.
Our first choice is a simple one. Should we go left or right? 1 for left, 2 for right. Down, rather. 1 for left, 2 for down. There is one exit card here, and we don't know where it is. Okay, we're going left first. And we found a maze of traps. Should we enter the maze of traps, which is a maze filled with traps, we will probably get hit. I'm not great at it, but there is treasure at the end. We're going in. So this is our player character. I like to call him Mohawk Man or Viking Man. And there's some traps in those bushes, so I'm not going to go in those bushes. We'll go around. And you can see those green dots on the ground. We got to roll past those. Let's be cautious. Don't go in the bushes. All the armor and weapons that you get have unique sprites and animations. There's only one character, however. It's easy right now. It's going to get harder. So those on the ground, those are... Oh, I did get hit by the arrows at the end there. I did not... I was at a bit of an angle. Should have gone straight. Oop. So we got to be careful here. We have to roll past this, but not into the bushes. Okay. Made it. Whoop. All right. It's a close one. You do it anywhere besides all the way to the left, you're going to get hit. And, oh, there we go. Okay. And now we just go for it. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Only took one hit. It's pretty good. And we got 3 gain cards. Nice. So we got to
I'm sure you agree.
Draw 2 armor, and we get to keep 1. Let me see.
Blood certainly incites fury.
So we can take the fleet cuffs. Those will make us faster. We can walk faster. Berserker armor is light armor, so it does not protect very much against damage. However, every time we get hit, we get faster and deal more damage. For that particular combat, I assume that resets between combats. But yeah, 1 for fleet cuffs, 2 for berserker armor. Both tied at 1 vote each right now. Alright, looks like we're going for the fleet cuffs. Alright, we got 15 gold. And another piece of equipment. Excellent, we got a mage mask.
Every tool a mage can create may be used against them.
These are useful. So yeah, if we get hit, we have a 20% chance of gaining a temporary shield. So let's continue on. We've reached the marketplace.
Not a good day to be in Stiegel. So few are.
You arrive in the town of Stiegel on market day. The market vendors are buying food today. You may offer some food, but the amount of gold you will receive for it is not guaranteed. So, what should we do? We've got 3 options here. Should we sell half our food, just keep all our food, let's not mess with it, or we could try and steal some food from the market. This game is not as much about probability as it is about partially probability, but you can actually, you'll see in a moment. 2 and 3 are tied at 2 votes each. So whoever voted 1, if you want to change your vote, let me know. Let me know if you're the person who voted 1, and then you can tell me what you're changing your vote to. Oh, but we got a vote.
I have waited for an appropriate player.
Just going to keep our food.
Seems there are more eons ahead.
I should explain, by the way, that food, every turn we consume, every time we move, we consume 1 food, and the food heals us. So every time we consume food, we get healed for, I think, 6 health. And if we run out of food, every time we move, we lose health. So, yeah, you want food. So we're going to keep all our food for now. You choose to keep your food and leave the market. And we do not get the cards token for doing that, obviously. A wife's fury.
You may wish to interfere here. Myself, I leave people to their own devices. Except, of course, for those who make the great journey to come here and bother me.
While traveling through a small town, you're accosted by a furious woman who shouts at you from the door of her homestead. You there. You look like you can handle yourself. My husband was supposed to be home hours ago, but instead he's with his pals, drinking away all our coin. They left the spoils from their latest job here. If you go and teach them a lesson, you can take your pick. So, should we go to the tavern and confront the woman's husband, or should we leave the wife to deal with it herself? Yes, we shall confront him. We are a man of confrontation. We get involved in other people's domestic problems. Now here's someone with some sense. I would go crack his skull myself, but a dragon cow is birthing a litter and I might burn the whole place down. You find the woman's husband. And he's a jack of dust, and his friends. He's got 2 men with him. So should we threaten him, or join in his drinking game? We're going to threaten him. So this is how chance things work in Hand of Fate. It's the shell game. However, it is a shell game that is very much possible to follow.
A choice. Select your desire.
So, chat, which one was it? If we get success, we successfully intimidate him, and we don't even have to fight. Otherwise, any of the other cards mean that we have to fight. Yeah, and sometimes you will miss it, and you just have to make a random guess, but sometimes you can follow it. I mean, you can always follow it. It's always possible to follow it, but reasonably, you're not going to be able to every time. You know what? I'm pretty sure number 2, which got a vote, is actually what it is, but I want to fight because we haven't fought yet, and I want you guys to see combat, so I'm going to choose number 3. Oh, looks like it wasn't number 2 anyway. I hear worse threats from my wife every day of the week, he scoffs. Alright, time for some combat. In the pub. So as I said, this game has Arkham combat, with a few differences. You do need a shield in order to counter. If you don't have a shield, you won't be able to counter. And shields are not necessarily starting equipment. They are because after you beat the first 3 bosses, you will start with a shield. But before that, you don't actually start with a shield. You have to pick one up. There are also projectiles, which you may have noticed. And we can counter those too, but the timing is kind of trickier. But there we go. So the big guy is a boss character, and I'm trying to avoid him and take out the peons first. That's the general idea here. The wrong button. I was trying to dodge. Well, we're killing this guy and his friends. So we're not actually killing them, we're knocking them out, I guess. I think his wife would be pretty mad if we actually killed him. So yeah, this guy is a boss character, which is pretty tough for the first fight. We've only got our basic equipment here, which is why I'm taking the damage I am, but there we go. Well, the boss character has 3 minions automatically, and then there was another card in addition to that. We lost a good chunk of health, but just in walking back to the center, since the exit was not here, we should be able to recover most of it with our food. Don't forget about food. You return for the woman, bringing her battered husband with you. Just drop him in the corner and take what you want from this rubbish, she says, handing you a sack. All right, we've got 3 choices. We have a better shield. It's the same as the other shield, except I believe it does more damage if you shield bash. And it also has a special ability that every 3 moves, you don't consume food. So if you have the shield, you consume less food. We could get Spirit Walk. Spirit Walk enables us during combat to press the R1 button and temporarily become ethereal, avoiding all damage until we attack, at which point we stop being ethereal. And you can only have one. This is called an artifact. You can only have one artifact at a time. You use them with the R1 button. Or we could get the Ring of Survival, which after every 3rd combat, we get 20 health restored, which is marginally useful. I would personally go with the shield here, but it's up to you guys. Alright, looks like we're going with the shield. And what that also means is we will be able to sell our old shield if we need money.
Really? Is that what you're going to do?
Yes, it is. So you can see as we walk back, we consume food and gain health. And by the time we're ready for a new card, we're already back up to 86. And we'll be even higher by the time we get there. Yep, back to 92. So we're fine. And it's a shop.
Of course. So few trade in the land of death.
We may as well take a
deals
look.
Are easy to strike.
So you can see what they have to buy. We've got things, but as you may remember, we would be cursed if we were to buy anything. So probably not worth it. You can also buy food in shops. If you're running out of food, that's very useful. And we can sell things. We really have no reason to sell anything right now because we can't buy anything. Even if we wanted to, it wouldn't make enough money to do that. You can also heal wounds. Get some healing. Although it depends on the shop. Not all shops have all the options, and there are other options that this shop does not have. Such as the ability to purchase blessings or the ability to purchase the removal of curses, which is usually extremely expensive and not likely to happen, but you could do it. Depends on the curse. They cost different amounts. Oh, it's a helpful priest. You meet a wandering priest who greets you in a friendly manner. For a small share of your provisions, I will bless you in the name of the old gods. So, should we give him half our food, and we have a chance to receive either 0, 1, or 2 blessings, which are the opposite of curses. They're good things that you have. They're buffs, basically, whereas curses are debuffs. Looks like we are going to give him half of our food. It's a lot of food, but hopefully it'll pay off. Everyone does not want exactly half our food. So if we get a success here, then we get 1 blessing. If we get a huge success, we get 2 blessings. Which card do we pick? Alright, 2 votes right away for number 3. Let's go for number 3. And it's a success. Not a huge success, but it's still a success. We got a blessing. He says a few words in the language of the old religion and gently touches your forehead. It is done. We got Will of the Gods.
I made that a little too powerful. I will have to rebalance that next time.
Meta joke. At the start of each combat, a random opponent is highlighted. If they're the first to die, it pops out 5 gold. So, no, that's cool. We got some gold. Easy gold. And now we've reached the exit, the cave mouth. Let's go into the cave.
I did not create this game, you know. I have merely perfected it. You have begun to understand my innovations.
I guess we'll do north, west, east, south. Which way do we go, Chad? Looks like we are headed north.
A permanent discount for those willing to endure the local color.
I really don't care what they have, because I wouldn't have enough to buy it anyway. So we'll just pass that shop by. Oh, we found the Devil's Carnival.
I will happily wager on the outcome. I do not think you have what it takes.
What about food? We might be able to buy one food if we sold our shield. I think we'd have enough for one food. So, one day, just as dusk gathers, you reach a large country town hosting a traveling circus. Strange sights and stranger smells confront you as you begin to wander between tents and stalls that were once brightly colored but now are faded and stained with dust. Peasants and nobles alike wander the streets and alleys past wonders and amusements, seeming almost dazed. There's something about this place that dulls your senses, and for a while you forget your quest, forget even the path that brought you to this place. Alright, we've got huge success, failure, and huge failure. So, I hope you were looking, chat, because I was not looking. I was setting up the poll. So, please tell me what card to pick. One and two are tied right now. So I guess pick between 1 and 2. Well, even if you weren't looking, we've still got to take our chances, so vote 1 or 2. Alright, looks like we're going with number 2. Let's hope this works out for us. Alright, huge success! Good job, chat! Cheers and gas draw you to a large tent. Inside, you discover a number of spectacles being performed by costumed artists. Oh boy, we've got another one. So where we end up in this carnival depends on, I think, 3 rounds of this, and there's a lot of different places we could end up, depending on what we get first and what we get second, and all of those shenanigans. Alright, number 4 is the winner. Let's see if it is indeed a winner. It is! It's a success. A strong man offers you a magical item as a prize for anyone who can lift even half of what he can. You take the challenge, and after a brief but intense effort, accept the prize. Alright. We got a Great Helm of Reinforcement, which is pretty awesome. Unfortunately, we already have some headgear, so should we replace our Mage's Mask with the Great Helm of Reinforcement? I would say yes, but I'll let you vote. 1, if we should use the Great Helm, and 2, if we should keep our Mage's Mask. The Great Helm makes our armor automatically upgraded, and we will take a lot less damage. It does slow our movement speed a little bit, but we'd be going from light to medium armor, so it barely affects movement speed. We're tied right now at 2 votes each. Two votes each. Yes, we do have the movement gloves. So that would counteract that negative effect. Anyone gonna vote? If not, I'll just override and use the Great Helm of Reinforcement, because that's what I would pick, so. Oh, and last minute vote for the Mage's Mask. Unexpected. Unexpected. I am going to do a revote because that was very last minute. Let's try that again. And if the results are the same, we shall go with them. I will not counter the wishes of the chat. One is the helm, 2 is the mask. Are people confused about that? That may have been confusing because, yeah, on the screen, the mask is to the left, but that's 2. Okay, so people want the helm, apparently. I think is what I'm getting, that people accidentally voted for the mask, but we really want the helm, is what we really want. So let's take the helm. Sometime later, you find yourself standing at the edge of the forest, the sounds of the crowds behind you. Day is just dawning, but which day? Looking back, you see the ruined buildings of a country town long ago, abandoned. Well, there was nothing there the whole time, and we did not manage to get the token. Oh well.
I am not surprised they have difficulty selling their wares here.
Well, we probably should buy some food now, because now we have 2 items to sell. And we did give quite a bit of food to that priest. So we shall sell our shield. And we shall sell mass. Food does not curse us. Yes, it does not count for the curse. We are safe to buy food. We do not have enough for 5 food. We have enough to buy 3 food. So we're up to 10. Alright, I'm not going to have a vote this time because really there's 2 ways to go and one of them only has 1 card, so let's just go that way first. And it's Loan. Loan is a nice card. Unfortunately, we don't have any money. If we did, we could give him 10 gold, and 3 turns later, we'd get a ton of gold in return. But unfortunately, we just spent our gold on food. Oops. Maybe we'll get some other gold here, and we can go back and loan him then.
Are your senses acute enough to detect what lies here?
A light draws you to a nearby hilltop where you see a warlock disappear in a cloud of sulfur, leaving behind his summoned minions. Alright. Shall we attack or flee, chat? It's a 2 of scales. Those are lizard men. They're one of the harder enemies that I have unlocked in the game so far, but they're not too tough. And it's only 2 of them as well. No votes, so I'm going to assume that we're just going to go ahead and attack. Because fleeing is boring. So these guys, as you can see, have shields, which means we need to shield bash them first, or else they will block our attacks. My timing when it comes to blocking projectiles is not great, you may have noticed. This guy does not have a shield. He's a ranged lizard man. They do not have shields. Also, if you hit them in the back, you don't have to shield bash them. You can hit them that way. Alright. Draw 3, keep 1. I'm just gonna get the medium armor. In the interest of keeping this moving. Because then we'll have heavy armor with the great helm, and we will have tons of health, and that is good. Wait, we already have medium armor, okay? I forgot that I just got the scepter, which makes you start with medium armor instead of light armor. But good news! We can sell it, and maybe get that loan. Oh, great. It only sells for 5 gold, which is not enough. Oops. Well, so much for that idea. Maybe we'll get something else. There's still one more card on this floor. And it's Dead King's Hall. You see an ancient ornate coffin in the main burial chamber. It may hold spectacular wealth, but it will surely be guarded. Should we try to take them by surprise, or should we sneak away? Plague are ratmen and mages. It's fairly tough, but it's nothing I can't handle. Especially with the helm, so we have heavy armor. We're going to attempt to take them by surprise. The only problem is if we fail in taking them by surprise, we may lose some health before the battle even begins. We don't want that huge failure. That would be bad. So, which card is it? I think the huge failure was number 2, but I'm not sure. Alright, let's go with number 4. Huge success! Excellent. Suddenly you leap into the fray, taking one of them down before they can even react. Alright, well, I'm sure you'll see ratmen before long. Do you want to see the mages or the ratmen? Who do you want to see? 1 for mages, 2 for ratmen. 1 if you want to see the mages, 2 if you want to see the ratmen. Alright, looks like we want to see the mages. So, goodbye, ratmen. So mages have quite a few nasty long-range attacks. In addition, they also effectively have shields, so you do need to shield bash them before you can hurt them. Yep, and those lines on the floor, if I touch them, I will take quite a bit of damage. And as you've noticed, I'm sure, we've got some pretty annoying traps here, so... Oh, and as you can see there, I did not shield bash him first, so I was not able to damage him. If they're casting, however, I can hit them. There are times when they're vulnerable and you don't need to bash them first. And that wasn't so bad. We got 2 gain cards and an equipment card. Alright, we gain +5 to our maximum health.
It's only a momentary respite.
5 food. And a healing cap. Unfortunately, we're not really going to use that.
Are you sure that's the right approach?
It would replace our Great Helm. And I believe that only sells for 4.
It's a fine companion.
Oh, we do have enough gold.
I'm sure you'll leave this one in time. You do not seem to have the temperament for friends,
before
even
we leave.
in the animal kingdom.
Let's take out a loan. Alright, Skull. See you around. Thanks for coming. Alright, the shopkeeper gratefully accepts your gold, saying you won't regret this. And surely we won't, because
nice
after 10 turns, we gain 3 gold cards. Which will certainly be more than 10 gold, and could be a lot more.
It's better than trudging along a muddy road.
It's such a ride. However, we've come under attack. The 3 of Dust and the Queen of Dust. Boss character. Queen of Dust is pretty difficult. She also comes with a crossbow that deals a ton of damage and is really annoying. So we'll have that to deal with as well. You'll notice that that attack glows red. That means I can't counter it. You gotta dodge out of the way if you want to avoid that. Yes, this is the trap area, this particular map that we're on right now. A ton of traps here. Unfortunately, traps hurt the enemies as well. Thanks to our armor, this is not that tough. But if we did not have the Great Helm of Reinforcement, or if we had only started with light armor, this would be problematic right now. Yeah, the Queen is tough. Especially on this map. This is a terrible map to be fighting the Queen of Dust on. But, thanks to our armor, we have managed to prevail. And we got 40 gold for that, so that's nice.
Every
able to buy
card drawn from your
lots of
thoughts
food with
and your
that.
memories.
Well, the obvious thing
Every
here
card
is to go down
tainted
first.
by your view of the world and your single-minded purpose.
It's a shop.
The same singularity of purpose that brings you here.
Let's buy some food. Without the armor, yeah, we'd be dead right now. All right,
I'm sure
19
you're grateful
food.
for that.
And let's sell our healing cap. And we can purchase some healing as well. So we're in fairly good shape. The Holy Forge.
A brotherhood of peace in the service of
Unfortunately,
war.
this card will do us no
Never
good.
trust a priest.
You need to find a piece of metal ore before you come here. And then there's stuff that can happen and good things. But if you don't find the metal ore before you get there, it's useless. Nope, here's the Lich. The last time I played this game, I died to the Lich. Let's see if I died to the Lich again. I've got 75 health. I've got good armor. The Lich is pretty tough, though. And
This
she's got
token
friends.
will unlock more cards if you can defeat this encounter.
She's got friends. We could flee in terror, but that's boring. Chad has already decided we are not the kind of person who flees in terror. So, she's got 4 skeleton buddies with her. Skeletons do have shields, much like the lizard men. However, it's only a problem if they're actively holding their shield up like that. Most of the time, you can hit skeletons without worrying about the shield bashing them first. Keep getting hit by those ranged attacks. 'Cause, I mean, hard to play a game when you're on a stream. Okay, I think I took out most of the others. Oh, but I'm dead. Yeah, I told you that would happen. That's the Lich for you. Alas, blood stains the ground.
It is but a game.
It is but a game.
I'm afraid that is where this round ends. Some other time.
We didn't even get any tokens.
She waits for you, even now.
So that's the official end of the stream for today, but we'll play a little bit more endless mode, and I'm just not gonna pull, unless it's something super important we can pull. But I'm gonna play some endless mode as the Lion Prince. The Lion Prince starts with low health, but for every enemy he kills, he gains health. Max health. So in other words, he levels up, basically.
This thing I have created, I can hardly bear the sight of it now.
A noble trader.
I've worked my way through its many
A noble man
convolutions
passes
so
you on the
many
road in the town of
times.
Seagull.
Run through these conversations in my mind over and over again.
He didn't even notice us.
Wondered how it all ends.
So that is an RNG
Will I ever
card.
know the truth?
That is an RNG card. If it was, sometimes he'll notice you and sometimes he won't. Bandit attack in the desert. 2 bandits. Oh, this is going to be hard. I'm sure I'm going to struggle with this one. So we are the Lion Prince. So we've got special lion helmet and everything. And we are on our quest to restore the Circle of Life to its former glory, so that we can stop being the Lion Prince and become the Lion King. And we got 15 gold to help us do that. Perhaps we can bribe Rafiki with that gold. The Lion Prince also comes with a card that when you get to the exit, you can see the rest of the board before you leave. So we could decide if we wanted to go back. I frankly don't think it's worth it crossing a river just to fight some rat men and give half our food to a priest. Especially because the Lion King does not start with that much food.
An expedition.
So, let's just keep going.
Press on.
There's an end to endless mode. There is no actual end to endless mode. There's an end to each floor. And at the end of each floor, we get harder enemies added to the deck. And we either get a curse or some sort of penalty, such as losing some food or gold. In this case, we got a curse. Traps deal more damage.
The harder things become.
Well, let's see what's over here. And it's the exit, which is great, because now we can see the whole board. So,
head downwards.
Let's not take that exit. Instead, let's go to the Maiden, because the Maiden is the best card. It is the best card.
You might think the world of the cards is grim. Yet, even in the darkness, there is light to
One
be
day in
found.
Shitty Forest, you encounter an elf maiden. She stops to greet you. So the Maiden's awesome. We can ask her to raise our max health. We can ask her to give us food. We can ask her to give us gold, or we can ask for a blessing. And she will not only give all of these things to you no matter what. There's no RNG involved. She'll give quite a bit of it. I'm torn between max health and food, but since we don't have that much, well, you know what? We've got a fair amount of money we could buy food with, so why don't we get some max health? All right, 15 added to our max health. That was quite useful. Thank you, Maiden. And let's keep going to the healer, where we can buy some food. This is a different type of shop. This is a traveling healer. Not only do all the shops have their own models and actually look different, but they do different things. So with the healers, we could remove Deadly Trap. We could remove our curse. It would cost 400 gold, which is a little overpriced, I think. You can buy food anywhere. However, the types of packages that they have are different in different places. There's the either 1 food, the 3 food, or 5 food deals. And the more food you buy in one, the better the deal is. So we'll buy 2 of those. Yep, and the Lion Princess quest is where I'm headed next. I've not done the Lion Princess quest. I don't know what happens. Let's find out what happens. Test of Pride 1.
There's a token in it for you if you win.
Despite having rested in safety, you're suddenly awoken and surrounded by the Pride Council, the eldest of your kin who lead all of you toward reclaiming this land from the beasts. We sent you out into the wild to see if you could grow into a strong member of our pride, but now you will be judged. With every kill you've made, you grow stronger. But are you strong enough? The Pride Council sits in judgment of you. Woe be upon you, you are not yet fit for our pride. When we next meet, it would befit you to have hunted more of the prey that infest this land. After the judging, the leader addresses you. The strength of the pride is the lion, and the strength of the lion is the pride. The council disappears suddenly as they appeared. Unfortunately, it would appear we encountered that card too early. We have not raised our max health high enough to impress them. But we can go to the Crucible.
I grew up watching the duels of the Crucible.
The Crucible
today
is an arena.
Our ability to make blood a sport will
We
linger
fight
long after you
in the
and I
arena.
are gone from this world.
Yes, doing card tokens can be, unless you're playing easy mode, which is one of the classes, then you can get tokens in any mode, endless or story. I already have the tokens for a lot of cards, which is why you haven't seen me getting tokens. When you start the game, pretty much all the cards have a token. And you'll be getting them left and right. And every time you get it, basically tokens are booster packs. So every time you fulfill the special conditions for a card, you get the token and you get the cards that are in the token, which could be 1 card, it could be like up to 6 cards, depending on what token you got. And often, like, there'll be a quest in, like, a particular village, and getting that card's token will make it so that you get another quest that then takes place after that quest in the same village. So the story sort of evolves that way, in that by getting the tokens, you sort of get the next step in that particular sub-story. Yeah. Alright, let's fight some more people. So the reason we're doing this, we want to fight as many people as possible, because every one we kill gets us 2 max health. Alright. So yeah, when you start the game, these are the only enemies that you'd even encounter, is just the dust bandits. And they add the other types gradually. Alright, the final battle of the Crucible. I got this. The combat varies it up quite a bit. There's a lot of different enemy types. They all function in very different ways. There's a lot of different weapons that have different abilities, artifacts that you can get. Unfortunately, this is not showing off the game that well because I haven't gotten any of the unique weapons, and I'm basically past the beginning of the game. Like the halfway point in the story mode, the second half of the story is much longer, and that's where the really interesting, harder enemies get introduced. So yeah, it's not being shown off to its full potential at the moment.
Win this and claim my token.
Alright, well after that we now have 83 health. Let's see if that's enough for the Pride Council. Nope. It's not enough. Oh well.
Deeper towards our foe.
And we get some more enemies in the deck. Oh, we got a curse. Great. We can no longer sell anything. Again. We can't sell things anymore.
This can only end one way, you know.
There's also an interesting story. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on here. We seem to be sort of at the limit of the world, the edge of the world or something like that. And we're playing this mage who has crafted these cards out of life itself or something. I don't know, it's actually kind of intriguing and hard to tell exactly what's going on, but still manages to have some interesting lore. Ooh, a surprise portal.
You lack the finesse to control such a powerfully complex tool as magic.
As you may have figured out, surprise portal drops us somewhere else. No problem, Misty. I'll see you around. Yep, and that game you starred in, which we'll be finishing next Wednesday. A Wife's Fury, we remember this card. So close. Oh well, let's fight. Start thinning these guys out. I also have to say, the whole buying mods thing, I'll talk about that in a second. But I do have to say, I bought this game early access, and the devs were awesome. They were the nicest people. They responded to everything right away. They would go out of their way to help people. They would listen to just random feedback from everyone and actually make changes based on it, and they were awesome. So, yeah, I really like the devs for this game. They did a great job. All right, we got a thing. Let's get a Life's Limb, because that's a good weapon.
A weapon of precision. Unlike you, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, gee, thanks, buddy. So let's just proceed on, I suppose. Yeah, we don't need to do those.
Work your way through the woods and see what lies beyond.
As for the buying mods thing, I think that they need to find a way to implement it that ensures it isn't abused. And I'm not sure what that way is, but There probably is one. Oh no, we
Ouch.
lost 3 gold. How terrible. Oh, goblins. So we will not be able to show off that sword because we're fighting goblins, and if you've ever played Golden Axe, this might be reminiscent of that for you. The goblins steal your stuff, and you gotta beat them up, and they run away after a certain amount of time, and if you don't beat them up before that, then you don't get your stuff back. So first priority is to take out this guy who has my sword, because I definitely do not want to lose that. Okay, got the sword. So they'll drop gold, and I think they actually have a little bit more gold than you have initially, so if you manage to take them all down, you will end up with a bit more gold than when you started, which is good. Okay, that's it for the goblins. Now let's just finish these fellas off. It's not inherently a terrible idea. The idea of paying for a mod can be done right. It just needs to be implemented in a way that it's actually done right. And the reason I think everyone is jumping on it is because it is ripe for abuse and problems that could happen. And yes, they could, and that would be a big problem. But that said, you shouldn't write off the idea entirely. I mean, especially like for a total conversion mod or something like that, where it basically turns the game into a new game. Being able to have a budget for that and do that kind of thing and get paid for it could be not only profitable, but also pretty great. Make a new Elder Scrolls game or something from the ground up with the Skyrim engine. If it's good, I'd pay for that. So it could work, is the thing.
A challenge for you, and a token if you succeed.
Remember the Devil's Carnival. Let's see what happens this time.
Choose from these options.
Oh, huge failure. That's not good. Right, and I'm using that as an example. Total conversion is sort of the obvious, oh, it totally makes sense for that. So what if it's not a total conversion? What if it adds a whole huge new area to the game? Or something approaching a total conversion? What if it's close to that? There's a whole spectrum. I think only certain types of mods should be payable, and they should need to pass some sort of quality test, and I don't know what that quality test is. Alright, well, we got to see what's in the rest of the area.
Cannot stay away, eh?
Alright, well, this is the blood auction. At the blood auction, we can give vampires some of our blood, and we might win something. So, let's do that. Nope. Well, yes, and when I say that, obviously I'm not referring to a system that doesn't work. I'm talking about a hypothetical system that does work, and I don't know how to do that. I'm not a super genius. But I do think it's probably possible. Buy some food. this card will be useless because we don't
ruined
have the metal
monastery.
ore.
So sad.
It surely is sad.
All sorts of terrible things live in caves. Are you sure?
It's a curse. We lost 5 health. There's much worse things
I have
that
made
could
my
happen.
wager. I'll also make my deal.
Embertown Hero.
You have questions, and I will provide answers.
Well, we've come across an injured
After
adventurer,
all, that is
and
why
he's
you
recently
came
seen
here,
combat. We could
isn't
ask him his troubles. He's been chasing a pack of thieves that attacked his hometown of Embertown. Killed some of them, but he fears his lack of strength. He's not strong enough to chase the rest of them down. However, we might be able to do that for him. So over there is where the bandits went, and we'll head over there, I guess. But first, we're gonna go to Dead Man's Gorge. We're gonna fight some ratmen and some skeletons. Tabletop Sim is early access, however, it doesn't feel early access. Like, apart from the occasional weird glitch, which usually doesn't matter. Like, I wasn't able to hit the end turn button, but Kitsune was still able to just, as the host, overwrite that and move it to the next turn. Like, that kind of random thing where I just can't hit the end turn button for some reason. Apart from that kind of thing, it feels like a finished product. I don't feel like... It doesn't feel like early access. Bye, Ark!